Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. This is going to be my June TBR. Now I'm filming this on May 25th and I technically still have one book to go for May, but I have a pretty high feeling that I'm going to finish it this month because there's still 6 days left and, well, I just have a feeling I'm going to finish the book. So, since June being Pride Month, I tried to put as many books as I could that are like LGBTQIA books on my TBR. Unfortunately, this month the Jenga pieces didn't do me that good. I was able to get a fair few, but you also gotta think everything on my TBR for the Jenga pieces isn't all I read. I read usually 4 to 7 other books that aren't on the Jenga. So if you don't know how this works, I just take the tower that you'll see in the next clip and pick a piece, say what it is, find a book corresponding to that prompt, and then I read it in the month. So, here we go. So here is the tower here. I apologize for the angle because I'm still trying to find a way to film this where you can see everything in shot and me, so I'm going to kind of be in and out trying to grab this, but we'll start off with pick number 1. This one, I guess. Orange cover. For orange cover, I chose Felix Ever After by Kacen Callender. And this book is about a transgender boy named Felix who has never been in love. And this is kind of the story of him getting blackmailed with his dead name, which is the name he was assigned at birth. And it's him possibly falling for the person that's blackmailing him and ending up just trying to figure out himself during, I think it's his senior year of high school. Pick number 2. Oh, I guess we're going with this one. Ooh, genre I usually don't read. So anything that is not like contemporary or fantasy, I guess. Because those are like my 2 main genres. So something like maybe like a sci-fi or historical fiction or yeah, like those are like 2 genres I can think of that aren't usually what I normally read. Next we have genre I don't usually read. And for the genre I don't usually read, I picked The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee, and this is a historical book, which isn't usually what I'm into. I'm kind of trying to get into more historical books, but all that. So The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue follows Monty, who is going on this big tour of Europe with his sister Felicity and his best friend Percy, who he kind of secretly likes, and it's him having this final year of fun before meant to be taking over like the family business or something like that. And I've just heard it's very fun, very flirty, and yeah. Pick 3. a fantasy. So basically, something that I normally read. For fantasy, I chose Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Seanan McGuire, and this is the second book in the Wayward Children series, which is a series about children who go into these doors and go into these magical worlds, and then they come out and they have to go to this it's like this school type thing where I believe the person's name is Miss Eleanor, kind of rehabilitates them, try to do back into society, or tries to find a way to get them back into their world. And Down Among the Sticks and Bones is two characters who, in the end of Every Heart Door, which is the first book, ended up going back into their world, and it's the story of them in their world, which is a world I found very interesting. And these are two characters that I want to learn a bit more about, and these are short, like, novellas, so they're like, I think it's like 180 pages or something, so that's going to be a really quick read. So yeah. Pick number 4. Let's go with this one. A yellow cover. I think that one's going to be quite difficult. Next we have for yellow cover, I'm picking More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, and I'm going to read off the description because trying to say it in my own words, I've already tried and it kind of failed. So, 16-year-old Aaron Soto is struggling to find happiness after a family tragedy leaves him ruined. He's slowly remembering what happiness might feel like this summer with the support of his girlfriend Genevieve, but it's his new best friend Thomas who really gets Aaron to open up about his past and confront his future. As Thomas and Aaron get closer, Aaron discovered things about himself that threaten to shatter his newfound contentment. A revolutionary memory-altering procedure, courtesy of the Leto Institute, might be the way to straighten himself out, but what if it means forgetting who he truly is? So that's that. Pick number 5. This one over here. Ooh, highest rated on TBR. So for this, if the top one on my TBR is like a second in a book, then I would read the first one in the book. But obviously I'm not sure, so what I just said could completely not be irrelevant. For highest rated on TBR, I got Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which I'm not currently on that book. I am on Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, so I am going to be reading this in that place, because why read the 6th book when I'm currently only on the 4th book? And if you don't know what Harry Potter is about, have you been living under a rock? But this one is the 4th book. Pick number 6. I'm trying to stay in frame. This one. A to Z title. So for this is I have to do a random letter generator, so A to Z, and either the author's first or last name have to start with that letter, or if I do not have an author with that letter, I have to do title. So it's author and then title. Next we have A to Z title. So, as I explained, this is I put a generator for A to Z, and whatever number I get, I have to find either an author with that first initial or last initial, or a book with the title. And I got the letter V, which I was first like, V, I don't think I have anything, but Saga Volume 2 by Brian K. Vaughan. I read Volume 1 in May and I really enjoyed it. So, Volume 2. This is, the first one's kind of about two people from an opposite side of a galactic war who come together, fall in love, and have a child, and it's the story of people trying to capture them and all that, and I'm assuming that the second volume is just the continuation of that. Pick number 7. This one. A red cover. I'm getting a lot of cover ones. I mean, I'm pretty sure I did put like every color of the rainbow, so a red cover. The next is Red Cover, and this is a book that I got an ARC of, but it is Sorcery of the Blood by Alice G. Holmes, and it has a little bit of red with like the fire and all that on the cover, so I figured it counts. I'm making it count because I need to read it because it was an ARC that I was given, but I haven't read yet, and I'm a person that if I get sent an ARC, I feel obligated to read it and review it, even if it's after the date, like the release date. But this is about two guys who are vampire hunters, and one day one of them gets turned into a vampire, and they discover that the city is being taken over by vampires, and it is kind of the story of them trying to kind of figure, I guess would be like figure the world out now, that they have to try and, because they obviously have to try and stop this vampire uprising to happen while this one character's trying to figure out how to be a vampire and also navigate. They are struggling with feelings for each other and all that. I kind of just quickly glanced over that to make sure it was right, but yeah, this is again a short book, so pretty easy to get through. And pick number 8, so this is the final pick. And then my choice. So that means that I can pick any book off my TBR and read it. I'm going to name the one that I want to read, but if by the time I go to read my choice, I want to switch it up, I can, or I can keep it the same as this video. And finally, we have my choice, which I picked out 3 books that, itchy nose, 3 books that I kind of want to read, so I'll just kind of quickly show them and explain what they're about. City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, which is a sequel to City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, which I'm currently reading, which I'm literally going to be starting tonight. This is about a girl named Clare who is entering the Shadow World for the first time, which the Shadow World is things like shadow hunters, vampires, werewolves, demons, fae, warlocks, and all that, and this is the second book in the series, so can't really explain much. The next would be Neverwake by Amy Plum, and this is the sequel to Dreamfall, which is a horror novel about these 6 teenagers who all have insomnia, who try to get this treatment, and it backfires and sends them into a nightmare realm where their nightmares come to life and can actually kill them. And so it's a sequel to wrap up the duology. Next, finally, Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas, and this is the 4th book, but it's like it's the novella for the first 3 books of the A Court of Thorn and Roses series, which is about a girl named Farah, I think that's how you pronounce her name, who kills a wolf that is secretly a fae and gets dragged into the fae world as a punishment. And this is the 4th book in the series, but it's labeled 3.5. I can't really explain much. So like one of those, like for one of these 3, I will be reading from my choice, or I might end up reading all of them this month. I don't know, but those are just like by my choice, I want to try and read all of these this month, so yeah. So those were I guess it's 8 books, but like I named 2 more, so like 10 books that I want to try and read this month, because I want to try and read all 3 of the My Choice books. But I hope this wasn't all over the place and this was kind of enjoyable. If you want to see how I liked all these books and what other books I read, I will be posting a mid-month wrap-up around the middle of the month, and then the end-of-month wrap-up at the end of the month, so keep an eye out for those, I guess. And yeah, bye!